Hi, it's Jeannie. Have you got anybody out there on this nice sunny day? So if you're just turning on for the first time to these half-hour lessons pretty much on all manner of subjects, and they actually start at past, but I always come on about 5 minutes early just to say hi, to introduce myself, so people know that you're in the right place. So don't turn off on the grounds this isn't an art lesson, it will be in just a moment. So hello Pamela, nice to see you. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. And who else have we got out there today? Anybody else? Do like and share and pop it up so people know that these lessons are going on. And we'll start in a moment, but for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Jeannie. I teach art. I teach it in a very unique way generally, and I do big team builds and individual lessons where people's art is totally transformed within 9 hours. These lessons that I'm doing are just little bits of entertainment for you to do to fill your days if you're at home, and some of them you could take to huge extremes if you wanted to. Other ones are just little bits of nonsense, and to be honest, it's up to you how you use them and what you do with it. So for example, the other day we did a three-dimensional theatre. I mean, you could spend hours on that, making beautiful front stage, beautiful actors and actresses, wonderful backdrops and things. Or it can just be something you do in half an hour with the children just to have a little bit of a laugh. So all the ideas can be taken further, or they can just be very simple. And today I thought we'd do, well, each day I'll try and do something different. And sometimes there's a bit of a clue in the advertising the night before, and sometimes there isn't. But yesterday there was a bit of a clue there, so there you go. Let's see who else is there. Hello Morwenna, nice to see you again. Where are you, Morwenna? Where's home? Where do you come from, I wonder? We've got somebody else there and I can't see them yet. Some of these classes now have had over 4,000 views, which is really nice. So yeah, do like and share it and tell your friends and things. And for anyone new, again, I've been doing it really as my way of thanking the NHS. So my daughter works for the NHS and I feel they're all doing such an amazing job, and if I can entertain people at home to make life easier for them, then that seemed like a good idea. If anyone wants the private lessons though, they're available. And just very quickly, oh, and my son and I are also doing birthday parties through Zoom, and at the moment I'm teaching, oh hello, there's more Bodmin, okay, cool. So 3-hour progress, 10-year-old girl, works with anybody. This is nothing to do with prior experience, so she went from that and was told at the school to give up art, and by the following Monday, that was on Friday, on Monday she was drawing anything that well. So it's about understanding what to do rather than just copying. 3 hours on perspective, even architects have said they couldn't believe what they learned. 3 hours on paint and brush technique and colour. 5 lesson progress, 90-year-old stroke victim. 4 lesson progress, 50-year-old German lady. 3 lesson progress, 40-year-old Sri Lankan man. So the learning speed is incredible when you do those. They're the private lessons, they are paid. That's a different thing. These are just little free things for you to play along with and have a go with. If you enjoy it, you don't have to pay anything, but if you want to donate something to the NHS, that would be lovely. And also, if you didn't mind giving me a nice little review on my Facebook page, either Art Jeannie or Art at the Beach, and also on my TripAdvisor, Art at the Beach Newquay, that would be fantastic, because that helps me a little bit, but other than that, it's just here to be fun. So I'll give it another about 30 seconds and then we'll start a minute. And I've got somebody there sending up lots of thumbs and hearts, and that's always nice. So lots of that, please. It always lets me have a sense of timing with what I'm doing. Now, this time I actually included paint into the things you could do this with. If you haven't got paint, you could use crayons or pastels. Felt pens are possible, but not as good. You really need something a bit more smudgy. And if you've got paint, that would be fantastic. But if you haven't, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. I'm trying to make everything as easy as possible. And so I'll show you in crayons and in paint and maybe in pastels or something, and then you can play with this idea. Okay, so I've got another couple of you. Hi to everyone else that's up there. And yeah, please like and share even right now, just so that other people get to see it live. What we're going to do today is reflections. So yesterday's list of equipment was with a picture of a swan that was reflected in the water. So the swan wasn't what it was about. It's about the fact it's about reflections. And lots of people get a bit confused between the difference between reflections and shadows and things, and they start thinking they're one and the same thing, and in fact they're not. But for today, all we're going to worry about is reflections. Now, there's a very simple little line that I worked out for reflections that I teach people, which is as above, so below. So whatever you do above, you've got to do the same below. And what a lot of people do wrong when they do reflections is they try and do everything at the top of their picture, and then when they've finished that, they try and do the water and everything at the bottom of their picture. That's not a good way of doing it. It's a very laborious way of doing it, a very difficult way. Now, for the first one, I'm going to use these chalk pastels. Actually, no, they're oil pastels. Wrong thing. I'm going to use these ones. 1 second, let me just change boxes. The oil pastels would work, but they're a bit messier. Chalk pastels or crayons are probably the best, or paint. I'm going to do it in crayon first, then we'll go into paint afterwards. Chalk pastels are these, they're almost like chalks. They're soft and they're smudgy. And so I've got these ones. They usually come in sticks. And they're really nice and smudgy. Real chalk would do it, but pencil crayons are fine as well. And if you have to use oil ones, that's fine as well. So very simply, if I bring you over a bit closer, I'll show you this, and then you can just play with it again, because I'm a great one in if you've got an idea, then you just play with it and you'll come up with even better things. So as I said, the trick with this is as above, so below. So I'm going to start at the top of the sky with the strongest colour I've got. And I've picked up these 4 colours, not because they're the colours you should pick up, they just happen to be the only 4 colours in my box. So as with everything, I always say, use what you've got, don't overthink it. So if I say the top of this picture, I'm going to use the strongest colour I've got. And I'm going to make this a bit like kind of clouds and sky. So the sky is where I'm going horizontally, and I'm billowing it up a bit to kind of give the impression of a bit of a cloud going on there. But before I do anything else, and this is where normally somebody would change colour and do the next bit of the sky, before I do anything else, I'm going to have an imaginary line through the middle. Now for you, you could do that possibly in pencil, if possible, just even make a little mark at either side like that, so you know where it is. I'm going to mark that line, not because you should, but only so you can see where it is for me. So I've just marked it. I hope you can see that. I've done it in grey, but don't do that yourself. It's only so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to measure up from that, and that's how far above I am. So as above, so below. So I'm coming down, and my dark bit of cloud then will be there. And I need to, like when you used to draw butterflies at school, if my angles here are that way, my angles here need to be the opposite. So that's like my now cloudy bit at the bottom. And here's my, and I'll just bring it across a bit further. And whatever I've got here, that's very dark there. So I'm going to do the opposite, a bit darker here. And there's a darker bit just there. And the darker bit that's there, and then I've got this straight squiggly stuff going on around it. So I've gone as above, and I've immediately done so below. I'm now going to go into yellow, because yellow is another strong colour, so that's good in the top. And I'm just messing around here. I'm not really thinking particularly that it's anything in particular, but it's meant to be a sort of sunsetty sky in the end. So I've done a bit of dark there. Now before I do anything else, I need to come down here and do the exact opposite. So it's like doing butterflies when you used to fold it in half at school. So I'm immediately coming down here, and you'll find the whole idea much easier if you keep going top and then you go bottom. Okay, I'm now going to go down to my bluey grey because it's less colour, so it will appear to go more into the distance. And as I come down, I'm going to let it get less and less and less. Now that blue line shouldn't really be there. I'm only put it there so you can see that was my middle line. And then here, in reverse, the water will be lighter there, and as I come forward, will get stronger. Now already, you sort of are starting to get the idea of a sky and its reflected reverse. Now the sky should be muzzy and fuzzy, so I'm going to give it a bit of a squiggle with my fingers. And I'm kind of squiggling it up to be clouds and things. But in reverse, and I'm just merging that together a bit there, in reverse, water isn't all soft, it's actually sort of got horizontal lines running through it. So down here, instead of squiggling it together, I'm actually just going to run my fingers through it horizontally a few times and give it almost a few horizontal lines running through it, which will in turn make it look more like water. And with any luck, you can start seeing that happening already. So as above, so below. Now imagine we were going to do a headland in the distance on this now. I'm going to do that headland first as above, and I'm going to do it in this brown colour first. So this is meant to be some hills or something, or a, I don't know, the edge of a river, or for the moment it doesn't really matter what it is. And because it's in the distance, I don't want it to be so bright. So I'm going to dull it down a bit, otherwise it's going to come forward more than my sky, and I don't want that. So there you go, I've done my distance and I've greyed it back to push it back into the distance a bit. Now I'm going to do my below, and this could be paint. Felt pens are a bit hard to work with for this because they are so strong, you can't manipulate the quality of the colour. So I'm just doing the exact reverse. So where I went up here, I've gone down there, and that's my below again. And then to get it in the distance, I'm just going to grey it back a little bit, just so it's not so bright. So there's your as above, so below. The top one I'm going to leave alone, but the bottom one again, I'm going to run my fingers through horizontally now, and then just blur that forward a bit. And with any luck, you start getting a bit of an illusion of a sky and water. If I then say put a tree in this, I'm going to put the first bit of the tree here, like that. But before I do anything else, I've got to do the first bit of the tree down here. Now, because it's very, very straight, I don't want a dead straight message there. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's exactly in line with that. But when I draw it going down, I'm going to give it a slight wiggle, just so it looks more like water. So there's the above, and that wiggle's gone a bit screwy there, but that's good. You've got as above, so below. Now I'm going to do a branch on the tree here. So now I'm going to do the branch on the tree there with a bit of a wiggle. Then I'm going to do the next branch up here, and then I'm going to finish that one with a wiggle. Then if I wanted another one here, I then do the one that's opposite there. And this whole theory of as above, so below works really, really well. So if I now do one here, I then come over here and do the wiggle one. And so it goes on. I can do another one there, so then I need a wiggly one there. And you can start seeing that tree in reflection happening really quickly. Next, I'm going to put some leaves on it. So I'm going to put some dark shadow there. But before I do anything else, I've got to go to that same branch down there. But I'm going to let it be a little bit more horizontal when I do it. Then I'm going to go up here, and I can be big and bold and round. But when I come to the same place down there, I need to be a little bit horizontal with it. And then if I do the same thing here, big and bold down here, horizontal version of it. Here, big and bold down here, horizontal version of it. And you can start seeing our reflection and our water happening already. Thank you. I've got a Christine Windridge there. Hi, nice to meet you. And I've got a Jane, nice to meet you. And I've got Julia. Right, well done. Well, this is me giving away a little bit of the way I normally teach. Now, I'm not going to keep doing this because really these are more to do with my paid lessons. This isn't exactly what I do, but it's giving you really simple ways of understanding things. And the speed people learn, as you saw on my brochure at the beginning, is amazing. So here, as light comes down from above, I'm now going to put a bit of orangey light on top of that bit of tree there, but immediately I then need to put my orangey light in wiggles down there. Orangey light on the top of the tree here. Orangey light in zigzags, a bit like Zs down there. Orangey light on the top of the tree here. Orangey light on the bottom of the tree there. Now, if I can get enough people interested, I might do my full art course a bit cheaper than it is normally, because it's normally quite expensive, because if you've learned everything in like 9 hours, it's quite amazing. So if I get enough people interested, I will do the 9-hour course over a few days cheaper than usual, but I need to have people tell me they'd like to do it. So there we go. I'm putting light on the right hand side of the branches. So now I need to put zigzaggy light on the right of the branches down here. And you can see this whole pattern of following through. That way you don't get lost. If I'd drawn all of that tree and then tried to draw all of that tree, I would have got wrong. I would have gone wrong and got weird about it all, whereas this way is better. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of yellow light into the top of some of these clouds, just to let you know the light's shining down from above. But the minute I do that, I need to zigzag the yellow light into the reflection down here. Now, this whole principle means very, very quickly you can have the most amazing picture. Now here I've got more light again, so I'm now going to put even more light on the top of these bits of this tree. So if I do it onto these ones, those two, then I can put the light and zigzag on these two. If I now put a bit more light on the top of that bit, I can put a bit more light on the bottom of that bit. Here, there, and you just keep going backwards and forwards. Say I put some rushes or something, I'm going to use a darker brown for a minute. If I put a couple of rushes growing here, something like that, as I do each one, then I should do the reverse. I shouldn't have done them all like I just did. I should have literally done them one at a time and follow the curve of each as I go, and then you can see the reflection of them there. If there was a gull or something here, and that's a really bad bird, but then it will go opposite down here, so it would be around here but going the other way. But we don't want it straight, we want it in zigzags again, and then it will look like it's on the water, and you can see the reflection of the bird then. So basically you can do what you like as long as you do it at the top and then immediately do it at the bottom. I'm going to put a little bit of shadow now along the bottom of the riverbank bit here. And by doing that, it will basically hold it down to the ground. And you'll see that then as the edge of the river. It's not a straight line, it's just some dark shadows at the bottom. And it immediately now just settled the whole picture down a bit. And it sits together better. And if you wanted to get really dramatic now, you could use something like the black here. Because it's a very strong colour, it will come forward, and this could be the front of the river. And you could do that really, really dark. And you could build up a land mass. And I'm doing this really dark and really strong because that will now come in front of everything we've already done. And then I could maybe do the silhouette of a giant tree or something coming right across that water in the background. And suddenly, especially if I strengthen this up so it's not a fuzzy edge anymore, you start seeing that the tree here is on this side of the river and the one over there is on the other side. Now that might be a little bit too strong. So what I could now do is bring a bit of brown into that as well. And all of a sudden that tree starts sitting into the picture, but it's much bigger and much bolder and much brighter, so it comes this side of the river. And if you look at that just quickly, whoops, you should be able to see the kind of distance, the reflection, and then this thing here, whatever, and you could do a lot better work than I'm doing here. It will come forward again then because it's stronger. So very kind of briefly, that's the theory today, is to get reflections. So even that swan picture that I put up today as the reflection picture, I can't draw swans quickly. I can draw them, but I have to really think about it. So this is going to look terrible, but if there was a swan here, say on the water here, you draw its neck, and this is going to be the weirdest swan you've ever seen, so please forgive me. But if it was there, he would be the back of the swan. And then immediately, and that's not a very white swan, it's rather a dirty one, his reflection would immediately become in reverse, immediately below again. And then again, it's the same thing, as above, so below. That doesn't show very well because that was like a last minute thought on my part. This tree had light on this side, so this tree also could do with some light on that side. And I could do with not throwing everything on the floor, which is what I tend to do in these lessons all the time. And you can see how quickly you could build up into a really good picture by using stronger colours forward and also reflecting everything as you go. So you get the idea of that. And if we wanted some long grass here, again, this will suddenly make it jump in front of what's on the other side of the river, and you can see it happening. So that is part one. I'm just going to do something very similar but with paint and just show you. And it's exactly the same principle. So you can do this like felt pens, you could do it in anything you like. I would just say just use the strongest colours you've got at the top and bottom, and that will make your picture work much better. Now I've got a whole lot of dust that's about to go flying, so I just need to get that off here first before I can turn the page. So just bear with me. If you do end up with dust from using soft pastels, which does happen, then don't be frightened of it, because look, if you use just that dust that came out, you can actually draw quite interesting, kind of like for faces and things. You can do an awful lot by using just the smudge. So this stuff is quite precious, but I'm not going to show you that now. But don't see it as rubbish. I'm great for kind of recycling things. So if we did a picture now in paint, I'll just turn. Actually, I'm just going to fold that one up and put it in the back of him. I'll paint over that. So to paint, I would suggest that you put your water in a fast food container if you've got one. I'm still using fast food containers because I've still got them and food keeps being delivered in them. I know that there's a plastic issue there. So if you want to use something else, you can. But then just pour a bit of water into the bottom of a fast food container. And then use the inside of the lid to be your palette. And then when you're finished, you can throw the water away and put that back onto the lid and the paint will keep. So that's quite a good tip. And what I'm going to do now is, because I'm doing a big area, I'm going to use a biggish brush. So I'm going to use this brush. I'll just see if I've got an even bigger one in there. Oh, and I have. Here we go. I've got a bigger one. I'm going to use this decorating brush. Right, so one decorating brush. I'm going to, here's my trolley with all my stuff on, so you can see what I was leaning across to. I'm going to get orange and yellow, and this doesn't really matter. I'm getting a creamy colour there, and we'll see how this goes. So if you turn that back towards the board, I'm going to put those onto my palette, which is the lid of one of these boxes. So there's my palette. I'm just going to pop that over here for a minute. And I'm going to squirt a bit of... Oh, that's interesting. Look, my cream one, isn't it? It's orange. I don't quite know how that's happened, but there we go. All right, so I've got an orangey one, dark orange. I've got yellow. And these paints I don't always use when I'm with students, but they're really cool. They're called interactive. Actually, no, these ones are done around me. I have interactive ones as well. This one's an interactive one. And those will work as oil, acrylic or watercolour. And so they give a whole new dimension to what you can do when you're painting. And I need something lighter. I thought I picked up one lighter, but I haven't. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of white, just so I've got something a bit paler. And then I'm going to do pretty much just the same as I just did. And this is just a bit of a lesson, it's not the whole of it, but if you're interested, you can get hold of me through Facebook. So I'm putting some of the strongest colour, this bright reddy one first, and I'm going to do that as the sky. And if I add a bit of water, don't always add paint, sometimes add water, because then you can get different colour values from the colour. So you're getting thinner and thicker paint, which is making it stronger and weaker in different places. As soon as I've done that, this is my imaginary line here in the middle. I'm going below, and I'm doing exactly the same shapes as above, but I'm building it up again with more horizontal lines to make it look like water. And this bit goes up more, so this bit here needs to go down more. And here again. Right, so that's the up and down of that. I'm now going to go down to this other orange, which isn't quite so dominant. And I'm going to put a bit of that in my sky now. And I need a bit of water again, because you can see, rather than children always add paint, I tend to add water quite often, because then that gives me more movement and it gives me different colour values. So I'm just going to do a bit there. And then immediately on this side, because it's the nearer side, I'm going to do some of this yellowy orange on this side here, but as little lines, so it looks like water. And these lines need to get smaller as they go away and closer together as they go away. There we go, and that's the sky sort of happening. Now I'm going to go down to the yellow. And I'm going to put some yellow in this very, very bright sunset we're getting here. It'd be nice if we had a really good sunset tonight, wouldn't it? And I'm just going to bring that down to my middle line, which was there. And I'm doing this very fast, but it's something, again, when I'm doing the real theory stuff about, I explained, but sometimes if you go faster, you actually do better. It doesn't seem right, but it's true. And now, with the bright yellow forward first, nearer, I'm doing the yellow in my reflection. As I go back, I'm not going to add paint. If I need to go back further with it, I'm going to only add water, because that way I can stretch it further. And also the colour value is going to get less. Now those marks are a bit big for the distance, but we won't worry about that. And you can start seeing the picture growing again like that. If we wanted a big moon or sun or whatever it is, sun in there, I might just put a bit of white. Now you shouldn't really do this, and you certainly shouldn't do it in the middle, but I'm just giving you ideas. So if I put a bit of white there, then the light from that would come down through this middle section of my water here, and the marks will get bigger and bolder as they come forward, and you're already getting an illusion of a sun, and I might put a bit of cloud over it just to make it a bit more interesting, and it's like it's peeking out at you. Then again, if I had a headland or something in the background, I might grab a bit of, this is a bluey grey I've got here now, because you saw before black came raging forward in the picture. I'm going to mix that up with a bit of the other colours like that, so it's not too strong, and I'm going to put a headland in the background over here. And that's over in the distance. And I could do the same on the other side, as if we were looking out of a bay. I used to live in Sydney many years ago, so maybe this is going out of the heads at Sydney Harbour. I'm going to bring this headland down a bit further so it looks a bit closer, and I've made the paint a bit stronger. And we've got another headland then coming in. And I forgot, I'm sorry, I got out of tune with myself. I should have done the reflection of that headland immediately with the same colour. And you can see then the reflection of the headland in the water. And this headland had a lot more blue in it, so I'm now going to do the reflection of this headland in the water. And it's basically exactly the same idea. And you can see the headlands and the water, and you could still do a lot more, and you could tidy things up, and you could put breaking water at the bottom of your headland like this and things like that, so it looks like there's water breaking at the bottom edges. But there's all sorts you can do, but basically that just gives you some fun. But as above, so below. Headland below, sky below, as above, so below. All you have to remember. So there you go. Now, I'm not going to do any more like that particularly, but that's just giving you not all of the information, but it's giving you little bits of how to break things down and make it easy. So I'm not a lefty. No, the camera's around backwards. Somebody's just said I'm a left-hander. I'm not. You're actually seeing everything in reverse at the moment, but there you go. So there's a lot more information like that I give out very simply and quickly to people, and it ends up with them doing absolutely incredible artworks. And for anyone new watching, I do lots of architectural things. I've got those at like Truro Cathedral and things. I do realism, and then I do all sorts of seascapes and seagulls and all sorts of things. So I can teach you a huge amount of different things. But anyway, I just thought for once I'd do a little bit of painting with you. If you want more of that, then I do that in little half-hour snippets with you if you don't want to pay for a whole course, and I can assist you with your paintings. I did it with a lady this morning, and I think that she'd agree within 30 seconds the whole picture had improved by doing one simple thing to it that she hadn't thought of. So I can be here in an advisory capacity privately, or I can also do full art lessons with you, and if you get enough of you together, I'll happily do the proper course at a slightly lower rate. It's usually £70 an hour for an individual and £50 an hour in a group, because I then back you up for life for free. So it's not like you're just getting the lesson, you then get my support afterwards. So anyway, there's some thoughts for you. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I thought I'd do something different today. Hello, Janice. Nice to see you. Jane, nice to see you too. Janice, it would be great to have a coffee in a minute or something through Zoom or or FaceTime. That's one of my old school friends just popped up, so that's nice. But anyway, there we go. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. Please like and share. And oh, just so you know, I'm getting a lot of external work now coming in. And I have been doing this every day, so it's been like 30 lessons are already floating around out there for free if you want to scroll back. I did a couple of days where I couldn't do it because I was actually teaching, and that seems to be happening more. So at the moment I'm planning to come on doing this on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, Sunday. But if you want me privately, I'll do it in between. You can have me like for half an hour advisory, or you can do proper lessons, or you can just do the 4 free ones a week, or scroll back and do some of the old free ones if you like. Anyway, thank you all for watching me. I hope you've enjoyed it. My details are here on the floor with everything else I've just dropped. But that's me. I'm Art Jeanni. You can find me at Art Jeanni on Facebook. I'm also www.artatthebeach.co.uk. If you search Art at the Beach on Facebook as well, you'll find me, and my TripAdvisor is Art at the Beach Newquay. Right, so have a go. This could be crayons, felt pens, anything, but whatever you do, do it above, do it immediately below. Below is zigzaggy, above is smudgy. Smudgy first, zigzaggy second. And don't fall into the trap of doing everything above and then trying to do everything below. You get lost and it never works. Bye, take care. Send me messages, send me photos. Thank you. Bye.